The Sony hack leaked far more personal information than originally believed, including the social security numbers of celebrities, freelancers, and Sony employees. Joining us now to talk about that is Pete Paschal, tech editor at Mashable. So Pete, how will this leak affect Sony Pictures moving forward?
Well, I mean, the hits just keep on coming for them. This latest leak indicates there's just a treasure trove of information, and there's really no way of knowing if this is the end. There could be even more to come. Going forward, I mean, the company, obviously it's got to completely rewrite its entire information security processes from the ground up. This has been completely devastating to them, not just because of the leaked information, because it's also exposed some really abysmal security practices on their part. To even have a file with passwords in it that is marked passwords is kind of a security 101 no-no. And add to that, lots of this stuff wasn't encrypted. They were keeping the passwords for documents in the same file folders as those documents themselves. It's really just a face-palming security mess. And going forward, they're obviously going to have to completely revamp their entire way of doing that.
And what will this mean to Sony's relationship with employees, with movie stars, with freelancers? Will people not want to work with the studio because of this?
Well, I mean, fool me once, shame on you, fool me twice, shame on me, and this is arguably the second time. It's going to be hard to believe that Sony Pictures could be in a position again to be hacked after this, but it's going to make people a little bit wary of this kind of thing for everyone involved, not just Sony Pictures. But I think, yes, there's going to be a loss of reputation here, but I got to think that they're going to completely gut their security process and fix it, but that's going to take time.
What about all the other Hollywood studios? Are they just as likely to be hacked as Sony was?
Well, I'm sure they're all sort of thanking their lucky stars that, it wasn't them that was targeted by this particular hack. And, it's still unclear exactly who was responsible, even though there's a lot of murmurs about North Korea. But if they are not doing their own complete security review, they're idiots. This is a thing that could happen to almost any company. And these studios have so much information. The cost to a company is kind of hard to quantify in some ways. There's the direct cost of the leak, but there's, we just talked about, the loss of reputation, the thing about social security numbers. We're getting into identity theft here, which could have far-reaching consequences for not just Sony, but for its employees and several other parties. So the cost of these things is usually much, much larger than you expect. And when you weigh that against probably the large cost of a complete security lockdown, it's pretty clear that investing in security is probably a good idea.
So all in, what does Sony have to do to undo the damage of all of this personal information being leaked, and also to prevent a hack like this happening again?
Well, to undo the damage, that's really just can't be done. Some of this stuff is out there, like the leaked movies, for example. That's going to affect the box office. We don't know how much. There's no way to measure, but it's pretty clear that is going to affect the box office, and that's, you're talking about millions of dollars. So there's really no way to undo the damage, and really, right now they can simply fix their systems, warn the people whose information was leaked. Unfortunately, with social security numbers, it's not something you can just change like a password, but you can get security protections. You can take precautions around it. So that has to be done, and Sony should be footing the bill for that. And they've just got to, like I say, completely revamp their process, and hopefully be in a better position to defend against these things going forward.
Well, I'm sure companies around the world are watching very carefully to make sure that they don't also fall prey to similar attacks. Pete, thanks so much for joining us. Thanks for watching. I'm Julia Borston. Have a great day.